Hello everybody, this is Mr. Robin today. Welcome back to another episode of MyGM Mode here on WWE 2k23. As today we will complete the build to WrestleMania and get to the final stretch of this season number 1. And we'll probably continue into season number 2, but it's a big episode because we were about, as you can see right there with SmackDown, I think we're about 4,000 fans behind SmackDown, which is one of the closest we've been, and with only 3 shows technically still to go, this is our chance to make a move. I think we have a pretty solid roster. Here's what it looks like to get to that point. Some great rivalries going, but we also need to kick off some other ones. But if you're excited for this one, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more wrestling content. And let's go ahead. I booked the first show. We'll go right into it and see what happens. Here's what it looks like. We're going to start off with the submissions match for the WWE Championship. Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul. It's level 4. It is stale though. But we have not been able to start a rivalry between Roman Reigns and The Rock, which was going to be our top feud going into WrestleMania. And I think maybe it's because this is level 4 still. So I want to conclude this rivalry. Hopefully that'll allow the Reigns-Rock rivalry to get started, because we only have a couple of weeks left to get that to at least, hopefully, like a level 2. So not where we want our top feud to be, but it's better than nothing. So we're going to end it here. Submissions match, Reigns versus Paul, to start the show as well. Then Hulk Hogan's going to call out Edge. This is another feud that I wanted to get going before WrestleMania, but has not really kicked off yet. So hopefully Hulk Hogan can call out Edge and get that one started. We'll see Shinsuke Nakamura take on Rikishi, as Rikishi is now in a rivalry with his son Jey Uso, and that one's gone off to a solid start. So we're hoping Jey will run in there and continue that one. And then we've also signed Trish Stratus to go home stretch to WrestleMania, and I want her to start a feud with Bayley, because Bayley was our first women's champion here in the series. She was a great person, but we've kind of just let her go by the wayside. And last episode we had to give her the 100,000 signing bonus to stay, and I do like Bayley, so I do want Bayley around. Hopefully her and Trish can have a good little feud, maybe make the WrestleMania show and be another surplus to what's going to be hopefully a stacked card. We'll also see Bayley take on Raquel Rodriguez. I've activated a power card also on Bayley, which is the To The Moon power card. So after her next match, she'll gain 15 popularity. So she'll go from about a 44 to about a 59-60. So that's how we're going to get Bayley right back into the thick of things. The Rock will call out Roman Reigns again, trying to start that rivalry. And then our main event, it is a tag team match for the tag team championships. The New Day will defend against Braun Strowman and Gunther. It's a level 3. 2 title matches on tonight's show. I think that is what we need, as I forgot to click the Fleet Center. And hopefully that'll just allow us to overtake SmackDown. I don't want to overtake them on the WrestleMania. I want to be ahead going into the big show. So let's see if we can do it here. It's a solid show. $109,000 to cost as well. And let's see what happens. We'll have the WWE Championship match to begin, and the winner should be Roman Reigns. He retains the championship in a 4-star match, but Roman Reigns is hurt. Roman Reigns suffers an injury. He will not be ready, it looks like, for WrestleMania. A huge loss. I'll try to buy some injury rehab cards. I think I only got 2-week injury rehab cards, so he would still be out for our big show. So that was the risk we run. That is not good for us. Our WWE champion is hurt going into WrestleMania. Well, let's continue on with the show. Hulk Hogan calls out Edge. It still doesn't get the rivalry started. So despite 5 promo skills, this one's just kind of been a flop, which is a little unfortunate, because I do want these two feud going into the show of shows. Nakamura versus Rikishi, with Jey Uso running in, and Shinsuke gets the win. And it's only a 2-star match, and Rikishi and Jey's rivalry does not advance. So this has not been a good show for us so far. It's actually been pretty poor. We're 0-3 on rivalry advancements and lost our WWE champion. Not good at all. Trish calls out Bayley. This one does finally get a rivalry started, so we finally get something going there. So a little bit of good news. Speaking of Bayley, she takes on Raquel Rodriguez in our next match, and Raquel actually gets the win. It was only a 1.5-star match, so this is starting to get a little scary for us. Rock calls out Roman Reigns. It is excellent. So the rivalry finally starts. We just don't have our WWE champion to get it going. So we'll have to see what happens now. And then the main event, Raw Tag Team Championships on the line. The New Day versus Braun Strowman and Gunther. And we have new champs for the second time this series. Braun Strowman and Gunther are the champs, and it gets the rivalry up to a level 4, and it was a 4-star match. So we had a great opener main event. The mid-card was pretty poor, but let's see what SmackDown can put together. We're going to start off with Robert Roode versus Montez Ford to begin, and Montez Ford picks up the victory, and it was a 3.5-star match, so their rivalry grows. We had a better opener than they did. They've signed a couple people, Cactus Jack and Umaga. That is a very odd pairing that I think actually could make it work. So they have a rivalry going now at level 1 thanks to Cactus Jack's promo skills. MVP takes on John Cena, and John Cena gets the victory, and only a 2-star match. That's good because our mid-card match was not very good as well. Brute Force's self-promo was very bad. He loses 2 popularity, so again, the jobber is just not very good at cutting promos. Becky Lynch versus Shayna Baszler, a 1-on-1 non-title match, and the champion does win, Becky Lynch. And it was a 2.5-star match, so a decent mid-card match for them. Austin Theory's self-promo was weak, so they had 2 self-promos, and they had a combined -2 popularity, so that's not good what you want out of your self-promos. But their main event, tables match, Noam Dar versus Kane, and it looks like Kane puts the Scottish Supernova through a table in a 4-star match, so their rivalry goes to level 4. So SmackDown also put on a pretty solid show, but I think we did just better than they did thanks to our opener. But we did lose Roman Reigns. That is such a huge loss. As you can see, we gained 45,000 fans and still made some money, while SmackDown gains 39,000 fans. So that officially puts us in the lead. We have taken the lead in the fans race with 6,000 fans in front going into the final 2 shows. But boy, do we have to hang on now. So hopefully nothing big happens in our DMs going into this final week. CO City, Iowa. Stone Cold, hey, my contract is up at the end of the week. I have to keep Stone Cold around because him and Randy Orton's feud. I'd be interested in staying for only 19,000. For sure giving you 19K, Stone Cold. Hulk Hogan's contract is also up. I mean, he's only going to want 15, so sure, because there's not that much weeks left in the season, so we might as well just use most of our budget. Carmella, things aren't working out Raw. I'm ready to tear up my contract and move on. Yeah, we haven't really used Carmella a lot recently. I'm not going to give her the $100,000 sign bonus. That is not in my plans, Carmella, so you can go ahead and walk. She's going to give us one more chance, but, I'm not going to use you anyway. Bayley said Raquel cheated in her last match. I want a rematch in the next 2 weeks. Okay, I can do that. I will let you have that rematch, Bayley. So that'll probably be what's on the next show. We'll have Trish run in and continue that. So that helps Bayley's morale. But we just took a big loss. 4 weeks, Roman Reigns is gone, and it did start the rivalry. It looks like no power cards we can use to really help that. I can use the injury rehab and get it down. And let's see if we use. No, I can already used this power card this week, so I can only get it down to 3. And then next week I can use it again, which will get it down to I think 1. So Roman Reigns will not be available for WrestleMania. We cannot have Roman in the main event versus The Rock. That is a huge letdown. So we'll have to see what we can do. We'll have to pivot. Try to make the most. We got some good rivalries going. Maybe Randy Orton is Stone Cold. That's a level 4 that one can go on. That's the tag team championships. Maybe we want to have the tag titles main events. So we'll just have to see what we can do, but it's not looking good for us. So let's try to book the last show, limp into WrestleMania, and see what happens. All right, so the final Raw before WrestleMania is ready to go. The go-home show. Let's go ahead and look how we're going to change things up with Roman Reigns now injured. Well, we're going to start off with a backstage brawl. Rhea Ripley, Carmella, level 4 rivalry. A hot start to the show, I believe, especially since Carmella doesn't really want to be here anymore. I kind of want to give Rhea one last win, just in case this doesn't make the WrestleMania show. We can have it be here on Monday Night Raw. We're still going to have Roman Reigns get called out by The Rock. I do want to keep this feud going. In reality, I'm not sure. I've never done more than 1 season in MyGM Mode, so I don't know if it just fully resets for season 2. But in reality, in real life, The Rock would continue to call out Roman Reigns, and they would do the match after WrestleMania if Roman was hurt. So that's kind of what we're going to do here. Rock's going to call out Roman, continue to advance their level in their feud for when Reigns did eventually come back. Bayley's going to go up against Raquel Rodriguez. Trish Stratus is going to run in on Bayley to kind of continue their feud. Rey Mysterio is back from injury, though. Our United States champion who's been hurt. He's going to go a little advertising promo. He still has a level 2 rivalry with Akira Tozawa. I might fit that on the show because it is level 2, but I'm not really going to build anything extra for it just in case. Steel cage match, Hulk Hogan and Edge will go one-on-one. I'd put it as a steel cage match because you can advance some rivalry levels with the steel cage match, and I need to get this one hot-shotted, so that's kind of what they're going to do here. Hogan versus Edge. Hopefully Edge doesn't get hurt because we do want to continue this into WrestleMania. Logan Paul will cut a charity promo after his WWE Championship loss. And our main event, tag team, two feuds collide. Randy Orton will team up with Jey Uso, very interesting combination, to take on Rikishi and Stone Cold Steve Austin. This was originally going to be Roman and Jey versus Rikishi and The Rock, Bloodline versus Bloodline. But obviously we have to pivot with no Roman Reigns anymore, so Randy Orton and Stone Cold's feud will get pulled into this one. So that is our go-home show. We'll see how it does. It's a big one because we just took the lead here in the Battle of Brand Supremacy. Let's see if we can keep it. Start off with the backstage brawl, Rhea Ripley and Carmella, and the winner is Rhea Ripley. She wins the backstage brawl in a 4-star match. So a good start to our show. Rock calls out Roman. It excels the rivalry to a level 2, which would have been pretty good going into WrestleMania. Bayley versus Raquel Rodriguez with the Trish Stratus run-in, and Bayley still picks up the win regardless in a 1.5-star match, and that did not advance any sort of rivalry. So that was indeed very disappointing. Ray's advertising promo gets him $15,000, but he loses 8 pop. That's a lot of popularity to lose in an advertising promo. Golly, Ray, did you just say something that made people hate you? Hard to think that, but that's not good for our United States champion. Steel cage match, Hulk Hogan versus Edge. And it is won by Edge. He beats Hulk Hogan in a 4-star match. Again, the rivalry does not grow, though, so despite having a great match, they're kind of cold going into WrestleMania. Logan Paul gets us 5,000 extra fans. Just want to hold that lead. And then our main events, Jey and Orton versus Rikishi and Austin. Jey and Orton win. The new talent wins. There was only a 2.5-star match, though. A little disappointing for our main event. So hopefully that doesn't let us down too much against Friday Night SmackDown. They're going to start with an Iron Woman match. Xia Li and Shayna Baszler. Doudrop's actually going to run in here. Very interesting. Xia Li gets the win, and it was a 4-star match. They also have a 4-star match to begin their show. Montez Ford calls out Bobby Roode. That was very, very weak. Robert Roode. Didn't advance to any rivalry there. MVP versus John Cena. MVP is still very angry. Well, hopefully a win helps him out, and only a 2.5-star match. Charity promo from Alexa Bliss. They had to counter ours with one of their own. That's also 5,000 fans for SmackDown. Ivar and Brute Force, they continue their feud. And this time, Brute Force actually picks up a victory. I don't think I've ever seen a local talent win a match simulated. So good for Brute Force. It was only 2.5 stars, though. Rude gets a good promo, but it doesn't do anything for his popularity. And the main event for them is Noam Dar versus Kane 1-on-1. And Noam Dar is able to pick up the victory in a 3.5-star match. So their main event definitely trumps ours. They actually, I think, had a better overall show than ours. We did not also suffer any injuries, which is good. SmackDown did not either. But this will be neck and neck going into WrestleMania. We gained 43,000 fans this week and actually lost $2,000. While SmackDown, they gained 46,000 fans. They did beat us this week. So that means going into WrestleMania, we had the lead by about 14,000 fans. I don't think that's right, though. But, AK, it's neck and neck going into WrestleMania. So basically, whoever wins WrestleMania is going to win this season. Talk about pressure at the show of shows. And they're going to place a power card on us. Select and brand, double the price of power cards in the shop this week. Okay, so they're only doubling the cost. I wasn't going to buy any. They're also going to veto a random superstar. SmackDown is veto Kofi Kingston. Well, dang, SmackDown's really trying to win this. So we can't have our Raw Tag Team Championship feud at WrestleMania due to high demand power cards are going to be more expensive this week. And something has come up with Kofi Kingston, so we can't use those two. Paul said, I think you should put me in a match with Gunther. Trust me on this. Well, now Gunther can't be in a match against the New Day with the Raw Tag Team Championship. So, wow, maybe we actually do go to Paul versus Gunther. So I'm going to say okay to that. Liv Morgan says, hey boss, I've been talking with Stratus a lot lately, and she had this great idea that she would put me in a tag match. I think we'd actually make for an awesome team. I would do that post WrestleMania. I'm not going to do that at the show of shows, but that would be something to keep in the back pocket. But we're going into the final episode, and we are neck and neck, and we don't have Roman Reigns, and we don't have Kofi Kingston, which is part of a level 4 rivalry. That is 2 huge bombs for us, and we don't have any sort of power cards we can use for injury rehab. I mean, we can use one on Roman, but he's not going to make it back in time. And I'm also going to, let's take it to SmackDown. They tried to help us. Well, we can't do that. And so, actually, no, we can't hurt SmackDown at all, which stinks because they really hindered us going into the final show, WrestleMania. And it's do or die. It's basically you win or you lose. So that'll be the next episode. We'll have to see if we can win the season in the final week. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed this series. If you have, make sure you drop that like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more MyGM content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.